Hey y'all, and welcome back. So today I want to talk about something that I think gets said a lot, but it's not always helpful. So we hear things like, don't make your homeschool look like public school, or kids don't need desks, they need dirt under their feet, or maybe even ditch the curriculum and just follow their interests. And listen, I get it. I really do, okay? Those things, I know they come from a good place, right? They're just trying to give us some freedom to break away from more rigid systems. But can I be honest? Sometimes all those freedom messages really just start to feel like a whole new set of rules, and I wasn't measuring up to them. For a while, I felt like I was caught between these two worlds. One side, I didn't want my home to feel like a schoolroom, but on the other side, I didn't feel like we fit into whatever the ideal homeschool was supposed to be either. There's this pressure really on both sides. Like if you're not sitting at a desk at 8 a.m. with lessons plans ready to go, you're doing it wrong. But then also, if you're even using a desk or a screen or a workbook, well, you're not being free enough or creative enough. And the thing is, I really think most of us probably fall somewhere in the middle of this spectrum. We're doing a little bit of both, but that doesn't always show up on social media and in homeschool circles. And it can sometimes leave you feeling like you need to second guess yourself. So today, I want to share what changed for me the moment I realized I could give myself permission to homeschool differently. But not just different from public school, but also different from the ideal homeschool picture that I thought that I needed to live up to. If you are feeling like your homeschool doesn't quite fit either mold, too structured for the unschoolers and too flexible for the traditionalists, then this video is for you. Let's get into it. Now, I wasn't homeschooled and I didn't grow up around it, and as an adult, I only knew one other family that homeschooled. So when we got started, I really didn't have much to go on. I was figuring things out in real time. Most of what I learned came from here on YouTube, and that's where I saw kind of all these different approaches, Charlotte Mason and classical and unschooling and unit studies and box curriculum and all this stuff. And I found myself just trying to filter through everything, not really sure what would actually work in real life. At first, I kind of leaned into a little more structure. We had lesson plans and subjects in an order. We had desks, all the things that felt familiar. And for a while, that worked. And then it didn't. We started to feel kind of burned out and wanted a little more joy. So I swung in the opposite direction. We ditched the structure, leaned into child-led learning based on interest and unit studies, and we just kind of let the day unfold. And while that might have looked good for Instagram, it actually didn't feel very good in our home. The truth is I was just guessing, just trying to figure things out and hoping that something would click. And really, that's not a bad thing. That's how we learn and that's how we grow. There's no way to know what works until you try it. So looking back, I don't think there was one big aha moment. It was more of a process that kind of slowly unfolded year by year. I realized that homeschool is probably going to shift and most likely flow with our life. And that's what it's meant to do. As I gained confidence, I could see more clearly what fit our family and what didn't fit. The more I let go of the pressure to copy someone else's version of homeschool, the more space I had to build something that felt peaceful and life-giving in our home. One of the first things was letting go of the idea that we needed this slow, quiet morning to start our day. I wanted that. Y'all, I really did. I saw these beautiful routines where moms were reading aloud over a beautiful breakfast, sipping coffee while the sun is shining through the window. And it just looked so peaceful and calm. But that's not our life. Y'all, we are up early, 4:30. I work out. We've got dogs and goats. We got real life. Like, stuff is just happening. And I had to give myself permission to stop chasing someone else's Instagram morning. What worked best for us is a little bit more of structure in the morning. We get up, we get going, and then we just settle into our rhythm. And that's okay. That's what works. I also gave myself permission to use screens, and not just for school. Now listen, I know screens get a bad rap in homeschool circles, and I am all for balance. But listen, y'all, some of the best conversations we've had started with a nature documentary or some cool science video we found on YouTube. It's a tool. We use it during our homeschool and after, and I'm okay with that. I gave myself permission to keep our homeschool space. We actually like having desks. We like that separation between home time and school time. For us, homeschool is something that we do, but it's not who we are. So that little bit of structure helps us show up ready to learn, and then we pack up when we're done. And one more thing, I gave myself permission to take real breaks. We tried the year-round schooling and it just doesn't work for us. We like having a defined start and stop. We love fall and winter. That is our family's favorite season. It is part of our family culture. So taking that time off really allows us to slow down and enjoy it together. That's part of our family rhythm, and that's on purpose. Here's what I want to say about all of those things. These are just examples. These are not instructions. This is how our homeschool has grown and adjusted over time, because I allowed us to try new things or to simply use what we already had. I gave us room to experiment. I let go of things that weren't working. And the truth is, this didn't happen all at once, right? None of this was this big dramatic change. It was just those slow shifts over time, a choice here, a small little tweak, and it's still shifting. So if you are in a season right now where you're feeling unsure or like you are still figuring it out, I want to remind you, that's not failure. That's how this works. Something I have noticed over the years is that even inside the homeschool world, there are kind of these like unspoken rules about what you're supposed to do, right? Depending on what kind of homeschooler that you say you are. If you're relaxed and interest-led, then people expect you to avoid structured curriculum. It's like if you use a boxed set or follow a plan, then you're probably not doing it right. Or if you say, well, I'm like the Charlotte Mason method, then you better be taking nature walks and have poetry tea time and lots of copy work. And if you skip those, then what are you even doing? It's like every method or style comes with this list of things that you have to do or things that you can't do. And then that's where the pressure creeps back in again. And here's what's funny. We talk a lot about freedom in the homeschool world. That's one of the big selling points, right? Freedom to do what works for your family, freedom to follow your child's interests, freedom to build a life that you love. But somewhere along the way, we've turned that freedom into just a different kind of box. Like now we're free to choose from a list of acceptable homeschool identities. And then once you pick one, you're supposed to stay in your lane and follow the rules that come with that. But that's not real freedom. Real freedom is being able to take what works from any method, let go of what doesn't, and build something that fits your life in this season. It's being able to say, you know what? I like this part of Charlotte Mason, and also we use screens and desks, and we like to take a break and saying we're a little bit of everything. And that's what works best for us. So when I say homeschool differently, I don't mean it has to look wildly unique or radical. I mean, you don't have to fit into a label at all. Your homeschool can be a good blend and a mix. It can shift and grow with your family. And it should shift and grow with your family because that is where the real freedom comes from. Okay, before I go, I want to leave you with a few things that actually have really helped me when I finally gave myself the permission to homeschool differently. First, stop asking, what's the best method? And start asking, what's working for us right now? What small shift changes everything? It takes the focus off doing things perfectly and puts it on building something sustainable, something that actually fits your life, your child, and your season. Second, don't be afraid to try something, even if it ends up not working. Seriously, that is how you learn. I can't tell you how many things we tried that didn't stick. A new planner, new curriculums, routines, and sure, it can feel a little frustrating in the moment, but all of that experimenting really helped me get a clearer view on what actually does work. And you don't need anyone's permission to do these kinds of experiments in your own home. Third, keep it simple. You don't have to throw everything out and start from scratch every time. You can just shift small things here or there. Maybe it's how you start your day, or maybe how much you're trying to get done in a day. Maybe even just where you are schooling. You don't need a total reset. Sometimes you just need a little breathing room and a fresh perspective. Fourth, trust that it's okay to grow into this. You don't have to figure it all out in year 1 or even year 5. Confidence builds slowly. You'll learn what you love, what your child needs, and what your family's rhythm looks like, and it's allowed to change over time. That doesn't mean you're inconsistent. It means you're paying attention. And most of all, give yourself grace. You're not behind, you're not less than, and you're definitely not the only one trying to figure this out as you go. You don't need to be the most organized or the most creative or the most free-spirited. You just need to be present, consistent, and willing to grow. And if you're doing that, you're doing enough. You are the one God chose to teach and raise your children, and that was on purpose. So take a deep breath, keep showing up, and build something that actually works for you and your family. If today's video encouraged you, I hope you will also pass it along to another homeschool mom who might need it. But that is it for today's video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.